My name is Chad with Black Pine Creative, and what I want to share with you today is a really cool jig head that I got from Dan Davies from Big Sky Flies out of Alberta. What Dan's gone and done is made some amazing products, and his coatings of his jig heads are the best I could find, and that's why I went to him. And the nice thing with him is I was able to get a custom-made jig head to what I wanted. For example, since I fish a lot of big fish, northern British Columbia, big trout, char, I've asked him to give me a nice heavy wire hook. So that's what he's gone and done for me. He's made me the jig head that I want. So this one here is just a straight up chartreuse Laker jig that he makes. Now what I've done is, because what I've been finding is the lake trout have been taking my jig fully in its mouth, and when I go to set the hook, I'm pulling the hook out of its mouth without hookup. What I've done is I've tied on a trailer loop wire. Now this loop is equivalent to about 30 pounds. I've tied it onto the back of the jig, then I've glued it. It'll never come out, and I challenge any fish to break this. So what I want to show you today is how to rig a tube jig onto this jig head, and then how to use the trailing hook wire. So for the purpose of this, we're going to use a tube jig that I've been using. I've used this one already, so it's a little bit, actually not even that ratty. It has caught a couple of fish. And we're going to use my hook. And the key here is you got to get this little wire going with your hook. So the best way to start is just take your hook and push it into the front and then pull it out. Get a nice little hole going there. Is just take the end of your trailer hook and give it a squeeze right over the tip of your hook. Now, go to the little hole you made in your tube jig and just push everything through. And again, the nice thing with this wire is it's stiff enough that it'll just run its way around. And the cool thing is I can do this. And the cool thing is I can do this with any jig head that we make. So once it's on, give it a push, and take the hook point and take it out wherever you feel like you want to set it there, and then your trailer hook just pops out the back. So now that you're sitting there, so here we go. You got a nice tube jig rigged up. And then what's going to be really cool is that little trailer hook wire sits on the outside of the tentacles. So depending on how big of a hook you use, you can set that hook a little bit farther back or tight. Now, no hook. Say you're fishing somewhere where it's single barbless. Pinch your barb, single barbless. And this wire isn't going to get in the way, and it's not going to affect the action of your little wiggly tails there. So from there, we can grab our stinger hook. I'm going to choose to use these little guys. Give it a squeeze. Put it through the loop. Eye of the hook. And it'll take a little bit of playing when it comes to actually getting the legs out of the way, especially when the legs are new. But you just push it down over one hook, second hook, third hook, and now you have a trailer hook. When turned over, sits right at the back of your wiggly legs. And the nice thing with red is it actually gives that action. It actually gives something the fish keys in on. Red, blood, there we go. So that's how you do it. That's how you rig a tube jig with a trailing hook loop, with a trailing loop. So in order to rig your hook onto a trailing loop, what you want to do, especially from new, is you want to give this loop a squeeze. And that can be done with your fingers, it can be done with your pliers, forceps, whatever you have and whatever you're using while you're out on the ice or out salmon fishing. just give it a good squeeze, and then choose the hook you want to use. For demonstration purposes, I have about a 4/0 Gamakatsu, maybe a 5/0, can't remember. However, I have this Gamakatsu. See, it's got a fairly large eye. So all you had to do is give that loop a squeeze. Put the loop all the way down. Once down, you take the back of the loop, fold it over your hook, let it pop into place in the bend of the hook, and pull it tight. And that's it. That is a bomb-proof trailer hook. And the nice thing about this is I can use any hook I want. I can use a treble hook, I can go big, I can go small. So it's really nice when it comes to that. And then take it off, again, pops right off. So the advantage of this is if for example, like you're just using a single hook, but you're not quite hooking up, you're just pulling it out of their mouths, throw on a trailer hook, you got that stinger ready to go. So here's another, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this one. This is just a little red treble hook that I have. And again, same idea. Slide it onto the hook. This one I might not be able to get on, you may need a pair of pliers. Anyway, slide it on, slide it all the way down, open the loop nice and big, put it over the 3 trebles, pull it tight, and there you go. You got a stinger treble hook. Now what I really like about this small treble, especially through the ice, is and when you use this wire will hold that hook exactly where you want it. So you can kind of give it a little twist and position this hook how you want the hook. Now what's really cool is the way I have it positioned here is that hook's up, so when I actually set it, what I'm hoping is I don't necessarily want these two, but I want that little hook to get in the top of their lip. And that would be a real nice hook set for me.